Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry if you can hear the fans, but it's bloody warm here today, so hopefully you can't hear them. I have tried to adjust it so the the bar isn't picking up any background audio, so that's good. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Star Trek and the fact that they've teased that there might be a TOS show, a TOS reboot coming. Now I'm just going to get this out. I am against this. I'm 100% against this happening. Um, with the way Trek is right now, that is. We're going to take a look at this article. This is the TrekMovie.com article. Um, Star Trek Strange New Worlds showrunners talk fifth fifth season end suggests continuing with new TOS show. Now I'll tell you why this is wrong in several ways because it's possible that at the end of season five, this might be the plan to end season five because um, we know what's going to happen to Pike. So I'm hoping that there's maybe a jump to the part to the accident, um, which is really going to be weird because as far as I'm aware, Spock would be. I think Spock was the only original crew left from Pike's Enterprise. And all the crew that we're seeing in Strange New Worlds, I think they only came on when Kirk took over because I think most of the crew, which would likely include the bridge officers, were killed in the accident, um, which is why we got Chekhov and that. I mean, Chekhov came in sort of later, I think season two, but that's besides the point. Now, I think that the what they're talking about is I think that they're going to lead into TOS at the end of Strange New Worlds just to link it to the original series. That's my opinion. Comment down below any thoughts that you might have on this because that's what I think. I think that's how they're going to try and tie it into TOS. I know that a lot of Trekkies have complained about the fact that Strange New Worlds is nothing like TOS, and and everyone, a proper Trekkie, um, I don't know what to say about the proper Trekkies to be honest, except I know what I want. I want a good Star Trek show for a change, but I don't want them to reboot Star Trek. Star Trek does not need rebooting. They tried that in '09, it didn't work. Um, so yeah, I hope they don't try it because there's also the fact that the reason we're only getting 6 episodes in season five is because um, we we know that Secret Hideout Kurtzman is trying to get as much in production as possible because his contract with Paramount states the fact. Look at this, we've got an advert. Good job I'm not showing it on screen. I don't want them to get anything from my video. But yeah, we know Kurtzman uh, is not liked by Skydance. Now we know that the deal with Skydance is supposed to finalise in the next couple of years, if not sooner. And we know that Skydance do not want to work with Kurtzman. But at the same time, Kurtzman is pushing as much into production as possible. Even though, if I remember rightly, Kurtzman was said we don't, no academy. He was literally told, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, he was told no Star Trek Academy, no Starfleet Academy. Because they're trying to end the Kurtzman Trek because Secret Hideout has screwed it up in such a way that they want to right the ship essentially. But Kurtzman is milking it for as much as he can because he has that thing in his contract that says that he has to finish anything that is in production um, with Paramount regarding Star Trek. It's an interesting clause that he got he got linked to it, really, isn't it? Very interesting. But yeah, They even said, look, it's a 5-year plan. But yeah. So last week, Paramount Plus renewed Star Trek Strange New Worlds for a fifth and final season. Yes, we know that. Well, half season. Now, for the first time, the showrunners are talking in public about how they plan to wrap. I thought that was, for some reason I saw it as warp. It would have been funny. Things up. They also go away ad. Sorry about that. I mean, they keep putting an ad up, and I don't want their ads showing on my video. So yeah, wrap things up. They also suggest what could come next. A 5-year plan. Over the weekend, Strangely Worlds executive producers Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonso Myers attended a season 3 premiere event at the Tribeca Film Festival in New York. During the panel discussion, I'm just going to speak because that ad keeps popping up and I don't want it on my screen. So both offered their thoughts. Last week's announcement, Myers began. This is how it's worded, guys. I'm not making this shit up. Myers began by saying they have approached each season as if it could be their last. And here's the quote: Henry Alonso Myers. One of the things you learn as a TV writer is that all shows end. It's just a question of when. So you don't. Is that true? What about EastEnders or Emmerdale? Those shows haven't ended. They're terrible shows. But yeah. So where was I? It's just a question of when. So you don't look at it like tomorrow it's gone. So the whole point is to go out each day trying to do it as well as you can and make it as good as you can. Don't think about it. Oh, maybe I'll get another season tomorrow. Like, really, go for it. And we have treated every season like that. It is a blessing to be able to do 5 seasons. The original show got to do 3, and this is more than that, which is amazing. If I remember rightly, with the original series, I think they were like 30 episode seasons. I can't remember. You have to check me on that. He also went on to talk about so the real thing for us that I think is important. Their language is weird. Their punctuation weird. Important is that we get to do the show and the ending, and it's not really an ending, but the ending to the series as good as possible, as good as we would like it as fans of this genre. As fans of Star Trek, I mean, Star Trek is not a genre. Star Trek is a franchise. It's not a genre. We want to make a show that we would like. You would like this show? Seriously? Do you really like this show? I bet once you finish filming it and editing it, you see the final product. That's it. I bet you don't like the show. If you liked the show, then it wouldn't be shit, would it? Akiva Goldsman and then weighed in, getting it a bit more specific about how they plan to wrap things up. So Goldsman, we made a promise to ourselves that we would arc the show into the original series. And so we sort of thought, well, 5-year mission, okay, can we do 5 years? And we are really doing almost 5, well, 4 and a little more than half. Season 5 is set for 6 episodes instead of the usual 10. And we needed to be able to tell that story because right now the characters are in mid-stage development. Most of the characters you got on there didn't develop until TOS. So you're talking about characters that shouldn't even be on the Enterprise until after, like, after Kirk takes over. How do they become who they are? What happens to some of them? Those are questions that we knew we needed to answer and promised to answer, and so that's our 5-year plan. So that was their 5-year plan. So picking up where on what Henry said about the characters, Akiva Goldsman said, And then we run into TOS, switching to conspiratorial tone, but they are not dying, and we have those sets. Well, they can't die because they're in TOS. If you want Strange New Worlds to lead into TOS, then they cannot die. The problem is that you've got half the fucking crew on the ship now that are on the Enterprise when Kirk takes over, and that's not real. That's not how it happened. Uh, Goldsman is suggesting the story of these characters would continue, which potentially could be a new series get set during James T. Kirk's 5-year mission on the Enterprise. Or he could even be thinking bigger, suggesting a movie or movies. Yeah, you know what they're thinking. As of the 3rd season, the cast of Strange New Worlds already includes several TOS characters, including Kirk, Spock, Uhura, Scotty, Chapel, and Mbenga, along with some familiar guests. Yeah, the people that shouldn't be anywhere near the Enterprise. Mbenga, yeah, sure, he was on the Enterprise. Chapel, yeah, sure, he was on the Enterprise. But Spock was on the Enterprise. But Kirk, Uhura, and Scotty, I don't think they should be. I mean, Scotty could be on the Enterprise, but I don't think he was. Before Kirk took over, I think he was the replacement chief engineer, wasn't he, when the Enterprise was rebuilt? Because obviously the damage it sustained, had they repaired it and refit the ship. Um, which I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's how the episode's going to end on the Enterprise being almost destroyed in the accident that puts Pike in that chair, and it's going to go that way. That's what I think. Um, and the article goes on and said that it wouldn't be surprising to see Dr. McCoy, Sulu, and Chekhov show up before they wrap up the 5th season. If I remember rightly, Chekhov was the youngest crew member of the Enterprise, so he would have been straight out of the academy onto the Enterprise. He may even have been a cadet. He would no, he was a cadet in the first season of TOS. That's why he wasn't there. He hadn't graduated yet. Uh, it, the fact that they're saying it, I mean, I'm not kidding, guys. Look, this is what it says. This is what it says. It says it right here. Look, it wouldn't be surprising to see them show up. How can they show up? I think McCoy was a civilian doctor at that point, and stuff like that. So, yeah. For now, the cast and executive producers are busy in production of the 4th season, which will likely wrap up around the time season 3 debuts on Paramount Plus, July 17th. The 5th season should go into production by the end of the year. As of now, the only other Star Trek show in active production is Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which no one wants. No one wants Star Trek 90210, or as I like to call it, Star Trek Grange Hill. That's an old TV show in the UK, in case you don't know it. It was a TV show about a school. Yeah, so completed filming season 1 and plans to start on season 2. See, they're putting as much in production as possible to take full advantage of that clause that Paramount has to stick to for Secret Hideout to produce, to get paid. They're milking Paramount for money. Paramount, you need to do something about that. You should buy Kurtzman out. You should buy Secret Hideout out of that fucking contract, because it's going to be a lot cheaper in the long run, because people are not going to be happy if they go into TOS. I wasn't happy when Strange New Worlds started, because it was based on the Discovery universe. And I do think that it's a different universe. I don't think it's the same universe as TOS. That's why the Enterprise is different. That's why the ships look slightly more advanced than they should. Well, a hell of a lot more advanced than they should. But yeah, that's the article. And it ends with a photo of them. But I mean, do you want Starfleet Academy? Because I don't want Starfleet Academy. I mean, when Picard ended, there was a lot of hype. People wanted Star Trek Legacy. Then Paramount Plus, as far as I remember, they were trying to get Kurtzman to make to make Legacy, because it's what the fans wanted. Star Trek had, traditionally Star Trek had a history of listening to the fans. The fans wanted something, Star Trek gave it to them. Star Trek was cancelled after season 1, but there were so many people writing in complaining that they ended up bringing it back. Think about that. Think about it. And now it's different. We've got social media. People like me, people like you. We can go on and we can literally just say, look, we don't want this shit. We want good Trek. We want Legacy. We didn't want, obviously, oh, we didn't want the Titan to be renamed Enterprise. We didn't want that because the Titan had already earned its prestige by becoming an A. So we didn't want it to become an Enterprise. Is it the Enterprise G? Yeah, I think it was the G, wasn't it? Terrible idea. Terrible idea. I don't know how they came up with that. But yeah. Well, that's what I think. Tell me what you guys think down below, and let me know in the comments down section. And yeah, I hope you like this video. If you do, please hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I'm on the road to 250, like 242 right now. So if you can please help us out, get us up to 250. That'll be outstanding. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, guys, I'm getting the mouse ready. Until next time, guys, stay safe, and may the Schwartz be with you.